He took my seat like it was nothing, like I was nothing. And in that moment, something inside me cracked, because when a man is pushed out of his own chair in his own home, it's not about the chair. It's about erasing his place in the world. I was 62 years old, shoulders bent from 4 decades of honest labor, hands still carrying grease stains from the auto shop I built from the ground up, standing in the living room of the house I helped pay for, the same house where I raised him when his own father walked out. And my stepson, 32, loud, confident, wearing a smug smile, told me to move because he needed the seat more, and everyone laughed like it was a joke. My wife looked away, and I realized this wasn't sudden disrespect. It was something that had been growing quietly for years. Every ignored word, every decision made without me, every time my name was missing from conversations about the family I held together. I moved that day not because I was weak, but because I was tired of fighting battles no one saw. Yet the silence that followed was heavier than any insult. And that night I sat alone in the garage, staring at old photos taped to the wall, remembering the man I used to be before I shrank myself to keep peace, before I became the background character in my own life. The injustice hit me hard when I realized my savings were paying the mortgage. My credit kept the lights on, my work funded their comfort, yet I was treated like a guest who overstayed his welcome. And the turning point came not with anger, but with clarity. Because humiliation has a way of waking you up. And I understood that dignity doesn't beg, it decides. The next morning, I didn't argue. I didn't shout, I simply started moving differently, calling my lawyer, separating accounts, reviewing documents I signed without reading because I trusted family, and slowly, quietly, I took back what I gave too freely. My name, my authority, my self-respect. When my stepson noticed the change, he tried to mock me again, telling me I was being dramatic. But power shifts don't announce themselves. They reveal themselves. And the day the bank letter arrived with my name standing alone, no shared signatures, no favors, just facts, the room went silent in a way laughter never could. The twist wasn't revenge screamed from rooftops. It was justice delivered calmly. Because when the house legally became mine to decide, I didn't throw anyone out in rage. I simply set boundaries, fair ones, adult ones, telling my stepson that respect was no longer optional, and if he wanted a seat, he could earn it like I did, outside this house, on his own. My wife finally looked at me then, not past me, and I saw something like understanding, maybe regret, but I didn't wait for apologies. Because the closure wasn't them changing, it was me remembering who I was. I bought myself a new chair that week, solid wood, firm, placed right in the center of the living room, not as a throne, but as a statement.